So I picked up some stuff here and there about Americans against going to war with Germany. And I guess the interesting angle of it is, while it's very easy to see in hindsight, winning World War II on another continent is what propelled the American century and all of the prosperity that your parents grew up with and stuff like that. Highways, TVs, rock and roll, etc. And so everybody and their moms loves going to World War II now. But if your only experience beforehand is entering World War I, it can seem a bit at the time in 1930s, whatever, like it may have been another bullshit war for no reason.
Yeah.
People didn't know about the Holocaust and all the stuff that's used to justify the war now, until after, of course. So, it turns out we went and then we're actually the moral combatant in all of modern history, but we didn't know that shit.
Right. Because
a lot of the imagery around it is like retroactively painted, with America being like this awesome, like, and then we showed up and kicked Hitler's ass thing.
The reason we went in is the same reason we went into World War I, which is we have economic alliances with Western Europe, which was being destroyed by Germany and Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that was actually 100% the right move, and we had 100 years of murdering people overseas for it.
Yeah, it's weird because it's the only justifiable war really almost 100 years before, and is yet to be one after. But
we're gonna find it. When we were killing ISIS for like a minute, despite the fact that we kind of made them in the first place.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Obama founded ISIS. Remember that?
Donald Trump?
Yeah, that was a great
friend of the pod.
Great line. But so starting in the 19th century in the United States, we've almost entirely vanquished indigenous civilization from the North American continent, and there comes this concept called free security, where we have two coasts, we have an ocean on either side of us.
What the hell?
Yeah, so there's this mindset that's like a good vibe mindset. We got like, why would we go to war? Why would we do it? And it takes a lot of negging on the part of the media to get McKinley to go to the Spanish-American War. That's just a little itty-bitty, splendid little war.
And the reason is money. You could make a lot of it having an overseas empire.
Right. Yeah, so there are imperial conflicts that happen that are kind of, people knew about them, but they weren't considered like wars, like the Philippines. But the one that really we were dragged kicking and screaming, the American people were dragged kicking and screaming. They elected Wilson they reelected him in 1916 with the slogan, "He kept us out of war," and then he turns on a dime and really, and this is where the term manufacturing consent comes from, because they really have to drive into people's brains that these Germans, this Kaiser, these are evil people. They're cutting off Belgian boys' hands.
What the hell?
Not my Belgian boys.
Yeah. And these aren't Filipino boys we're talking about. These are boys in Belgium.
How are they going to make those waffles? And so they sent...
Yeah, before then, the waffles had no holes in them.
Yeah.
They were just big pancakes. But then after the abuses under the Kaiser...
They're not allowed to share those waffles.
Right. And it was a deeply, deeply unpopular war directly before and after. And I would say during, but any dissent we became a police state for like a year or two. Not that, things were great, before and after either, but it was literally, you could not print anything against the war. It was illegal to during the course of World War I. People were thrown in jail for dissenting and all that stuff. But that they really had to clamp down on public opinion because people were... One of the most popular songs at the time was "I Didn't Raise My Boy to Be a Soldier." And that got shut off the airwaves.
They had to get the FCC to edit that.
Yeah.
I didn't raise my boy to be a pussy. They had the TikTok robot voice back in 1916. POV, I am a treasonous dog.